start recording as well. It'd be great if I remember to do that. So, the Talaria have arrived at the capital of Embar, seeking work, a means to gain... Is the music track duplicating there? No, I'm going crazy. A means to gain reputation, work, and enjoy the Foundation Day celebrations. 1 second, actually, I'm gonna... Yeah, I've got a duplicate. 1 second. Agfire. There we go, that should fix it. There we go. I accidentally had 2 Roll20 windows up. I'll start again. The Talaria have arrived at the capital of Embar, seeking work, reputation, and to enjoy the Foundation Day celebrations. Initially arriving early, you decided to fulfill some things on your individual bucket lists, either gathering information, reacquiring things that were lent to you, or simply passing a message on to somebody within their family or friends. Culminating in you visiting Headmaster Ferrant in the Academy of the Arcane. There you had found some information about the book that Kinlin had held, and was given a means to potentially open it, storing an elemental inside a brand new absorption dagger that he crafted for you, as sort of a way of thanks and a incentive to also aid in the Iona Accord. However, with the intent to enjoy the celebrations, you decide to stay and partake in a few of the games. Some of them you won, some of them you got close to winning, others you didn't win at all. Eventually, you decide to enter the fighting tournament, which pitted several other groups alongside yourselves to see who could win a 3-round endurance round, basically, against various monsters brought in around the lands. All the combatants seemed evenly matched, and damage was taken from everyone involved. One of the teams, the Ambassador of Tended Earth, decided to forfeit after the second round, deciding for whatever reason that they would no longer want to attempt the third round. Tired and wounded, the remaining 5 groups, including yourselves, prepared for your final round, as Zephyru entered for whatever was coming their way. And that was where we left off. So, you get a look at how everyone is and observe the Firu as they walk out. Most of them seem fatigued, tired. Some of them you can see are still trying to bandage up various wounds that mar their bodies. Others are talking about various battle strategies on how they might prepare for whatever it is that comes their way. But all of them have that sense of determination still to at least try to get to where they hope would be a victory. Headphones are being a bit weird. There we go. So, you watch as the Firu once again assume their Felix position, the one that typically holds a crossbow, seeming to have discarded it and joined alongside her 3 other comrades. You can see that the more wounded ones are in the middle, flanked by the less injured. The portcullis opens up, and you see another mass of bodies slowly walk in. You know these creatures. They're bugbears. 8 of them in total, all chained. You watch as, one by one, several Zaman guards come up, unchain them, and leave several weapons on the ground, mostly maces or morning stars. The bugbears sort of look about, discuss with one another before they pick up their weapons, look towards these 4 soldiers, and as one, they charge forward. So, right at the beginning, the soldier that typically has a crossbow drops her shield, pulls out the crossbow once more, and fires before dropping it and reaping up her shield. It hits the closest bugbear to her, but it doesn't. It keeps charging towards him. You watch as the others prepare to brace, with the one that had shown some arcane prowess before send several magic missiles towards the same bugbear that had just been hit. There's almost like a silence in the air as the crowd hold their breath as a massive bugbears collide with the wall of shields. The one in the middle, appearing to be the leader, is pommeled by several of the soldiers. You watch as the wall seems to hold initially, and in fact begins to push back several of the bugbears. You watch as one that's on the flank, the one that had been wounded, sort of tries to get around, but is pushed back by the female guard, also giving away ground, and tighten themselves almost into a box formation. The wounded ones are trying to get themselves into a more advantageous position away from the battle, but you see as one of them, as they run away, gets hit hard in the back of the neck by a morning star. You see a streak of blood come from the gash in its neck. He's still standing, but you can see at this point he looks dazed and tired. They're able to form the box just in time as the bugbears also complete their surround. You watch as they begin almost shoulder barging into the shields, trying to break the hold. You watch as the box gets tighter and tighter as the soldiers, while able to dish out some damage themselves, the bugbears are only taking minor wounds. You see one of them, his arm hanging loosely from the puncture wound that had been caused by one of the spears. The leader of the Firu, you watch as the box gets squeezed to the point where they're all practically back to back, bats away one of the bugbears and raises his hand up in the air, roaring for a surrender, before he gets hit hard by the mace. He goes down onto one knee, sort of like adjusts his grip and punches out with his free hand at the bugbear. You watch as the bugbear just sort of like look down at the punch and laugh before you all hear. Several of the Samakan Guard have pulled out bows and crossbows and have begun pummeling the bugbears with various arrows. 3 of them go down before you watch as the remaining 4 step back, drop their weapons, and raise their hands in equal surrender. At which point you can see that one of the soldiers is down, bleeding heavily, with the female soldier instantly attempting to stabilize him. As the bugbears are sort of not driven off per se, but aggressively encouraged to move back by several guards, you watch as several clerics run onto the field to examine the downed soldier. After a few minutes, the downed soldier is able to sit up, rubs the back of his neck where the wound was, and is helped to his feet and carried off with the rest of them back into the pit. You hear the sounds of them coming back in. It's kind of a murmur of voices here, but the one bit that you hear with what seems to be the leader, it's hard to tell because you can't physically see them, but just from when he roared his surrender, you sort of hear what is the leader saying. It's okay, Ward. You tried your best. Got a lucky hit on you. Better for you to be alive and tell your stories, right? Hey, you're right. It's just shit. Does anyone go down, or do they just sit around and wait?
No, Aki's almost like petrified with fear at the moment.
I think Mev even looks a little surprised at that.
Yeah, Aki sort of, while watching, just sort of looks over and goes, I can't say for the group, but personally, I think there's no shame in just doing 2 rounds as there. I mean, you saw them down there. The well-oiled machine rendered useless by brutish hate. If it's the will of the Talaria, I guess we could always end it with 2. But I'm
Aki. It will be fine. That person called out for a surrender and the guards assisted. If it gets bad enough, we can, always do that. Though, I wasn't expecting it to be as severe as it was.
The male human from the mercenaries sort of not looking at you all, but sort of like clearly speaking to like direct at you, says, "Well, looking at it, simple as a case of numbers. 4 against 8, not exactly fair, is it?"
That is what I think too. They were very outmatched.
Indeed.
You see the human just look at the other members of his team, the Triton, the 2 Trollkins, and the Dragonborn. It's like, what do you say? I'm perfectly game for another one. Yeah, I think we might do a decent enough job. Well, what about you, Claire? I don't know. If it's a single thing like before, then absolutely. Otherwise, I'm not too sure. Guess we'll see. At this point, the ghosts are brought down as well to prepare for their fight. You can see the fairy member is pale as a sheet as he's going down. You can sort of hear it. You can just sort of hear him muttering. It's like, okay, if there's multiple ones, I suppose do I dare get disqualified? Maybe not. Money or death, money or death, money or death. But as you
often have to decide that.
But eventually they head on in as well. Obviously, I didn't need to put anything on there because you know what a bugbear is. Everyone knows what a bugbear is. You guys got a bugbear dick at one point in campaign 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I remember just one of those being very brutal.
Yeah, it was before one in the Exeter arena, didn't we?
No, you fought one outside of Old Pterodons.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And we were like maybe only a level below.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we were like level 4 at the time, and it hurt. Granted, they knew magic.
Spooky bugbears.
Yep. So, you watch as the ghosts spread out, with the dwarf being their center flank. The fairy is on the right. The fairy and the half elf are on the right flank. The others are on the left flank. And once more, the portcullis opens. You see a single large lumbering creature come out, and as it sort of brings itself into the open, you can see it's almost like a what are they called? Rhino beetle, I think they're called.
Yeah, the beetle with the big horn.
Yeah, it's like a rhino beetle without the horn. A large armored carapace with almost like a stony texture, it looks like. You're not too sure if it's actually made of stone or it's just the coloration of this creature. But you can see sort of on various parts of its spiky carapace is what looks to be large shark jawbones, which seems odd to begin with, but then you watch as the collection of shark jaws begin to shake and fall off. They stay still for a second before rising up and forming into a weird humanoid-looking creature made entirely of these shark jaws. So I will just drag the creatures on so you can see what they look like.
Oh boy, this is going to be Nightmarish.
I
Okay.
need to make sure that I'm actually on the... Ignore the person on the token, that's just what the token looks like once I move them over here, because it's easier that way.
Sharpjaw.
So that's the beetle creature, and that is the shark-jaw skeleton-like creature. And it all gives you an idea of how big they are.
Hey, we saw that yesterday.
Yeah?
Well, that looks really cool.
Yeah, that's a stairs guardian. But also, I want one. I love it.
Wow.
It's giving me Cowplant from The Sims vibes.
Yeah, it actually does.
I love it. What do we feed it? Can we keep one? Is there a baby version?
Oh my god.
Can I get it in a plushie form?
Questions I cannot answer, I'm afraid. You kind of just watch as these sort of like shark jaw creatures form up. The ghosts sort of like pause. You just see them like just kind of, I'm like dumbfounded. You see the fairy once again just like looking about. You're able to catch just barely because lip reading and he's facing away. You just see him go, "Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?" At this point, the fairy sort of like seeing the others gets just be stunned, pulls out his bow and hits one of the shark jaw creatures. It chips a little bit off, but then you sort of like watch as it slowly turns what would be its head to look at the fairy. You can tell just from his body language that this fairy's thinking like, "Oh shit." The halfling charges forward towards the closest one to his flank and sort of tries to coax him into bringing it away, slashing into its leg, chipping away at various parts of it, but not enough to cause any like real damage. At this point, the dwarf gets his bearings, charges forward. He's not able to get close enough, but he sort of like roars towards them, trying to almost like goad them all to go for him. The creatures don't seem to react as, from the threat. You're not too sure if it's a case of just the threat wasn't good enough, or maybe they're too stupid to, consider a goading thing. You watch as I need to drag this over here so that I can see who is who, because I can't see who is who on here. You watch as a half-elf sort of like put his hand onto his chest and mutter some arcane words as a sort of shimmering aura goes around him as he sort of moves forward and gets himself in a better position. You watch as the one of the shark jaws, the one that the fairy had hit, charged towards him. The fairy tries to fly up out of the way until the shark jaw thing leaps up and clamps its jaw, it's both, around its leg. At this point, the fairy like screams out in pain as the shark jaw has just a firm grip on its leg and he can't get out. He starts like being almost like shaken around like a dog toy, while you see him sort of like trying to find some way to wrench the jaws open. The other two shark jaws that are near the halfling converge onto him. You're able to see that the halfling is very agile and is able to dodge some of the worst of the hits, at least to the point where he also isn't clamped down, but you can sort of see as he pulls away various red welts of blood on his arm and one across his body as he's just able to navigate out of the jaws. At this point, one of the other shark jaws squeezes by the big beetle creature to take on the dwarf, who at this point had been basically ready for what was coming through. He swings his hammer in a like underarm motion, completely shattering one of the arms of the shark jaw. But it keeps going and is able to sort of like bite into the dwarf around his shoulder. The dwarf doesn't particularly care and just sort of like gives him almost like a shoulder check. You hear like sort of crack from the jaw itself, as he pulls away, the jaw now sort of like hanging partially loose. Let me just... at this point, you watch as the Artificer points towards the dwarf, muttering arcane words, and you watch as the dwarf gets bigger and bigger, to the point where he's an entire size larger than he was before positioning himself sort of to the dwarf's right flank to keep the other shark jaws that are approaching at bay. The halfling is able to sort of like roll out the way of the shark jaws attacks, going around and hiding behind the now much larger dwarf. You can see he's just kind of like there, almost like leaning against his comrade's leg, just sort of like breathing heavily and just trying to deal with the worst of the bleeding before he tries to go to the flank, but sees the what do you call it? Before seeing the it was a half elf that got onto the flanking side. Before seeing the half elf sort of standing directly next to the dwarf and begins swearing in. You don't speak halfling, do you, Aki?
I don't. No.
You don't. So you can see that they're saying something, but you can't understand it, unfortunately. While this is going on, you watch as a large beetle sort of begins scratching at the ground as a plume of sand comes up and it burrows into the ground. At this point, the halfling has put himself once again behind the dwarf and is just catching his breath, and you sort of see the sand around him begin to shake. He sort of like looks around before you just see his shoulders slump and you just see him go, ah, fuck. There's an explosion of sand as the beetle creature bursts out the ground, and you see, like, through the sand, this halfling is now clamped in this creature's jaws. You watch as he just sort of, like, winces, he twists. Part of his leather armor sort of, like, rips away. You can see a large gash across his stomach. And as he sort of, like, lands, sort of, like, clutching his stomach, he looks up as the beetle lands. One of its claws lands down and nearly flattens the halfling as he rolls away. At this point, the Artificer throws out another one of the cannons, which begins firing at this beetle thing. The first shot just completely harmlessly bounces off the carapace. At this, you look at where the fairy is. You can see that he's dropped his bow and now has a sickle out and is just slashing at this shark jaw that's clamping down on its on his legs still. Many swear words, some in languages you don't understand, Aki. But it's mostly just very explicit filled towards this creature that may or may not be able to understand a word of it. At this point, you sort of like look over at the halfling who is looking real rough. You can see, basically on lip reading, you hear him say, "Doris!" as he slashes towards one of the shark jaws that's approaching him. At this point, you see the large dwarf turn around, saying, "Little busy here." With his now enlarged form and hammer, he slams into the shark jaw that he previously attacked. You watch as it crumples down into a mass, just a mass of bone and jaw. You notice as well, it was difficult to tell because both the beetle and the enlarged dwarf were sort of blocking view, but you see that the other shark jaw things are now latching onto the dwarf. You see one of them latched onto his leg and his arm. The other one is sort of like bites into his side. The dwarf is not looking good. At this point, you sort of like hear him yell out, "I'm gonna need some help here!" As the fourth of the shark jaws basically leap on this large meal to them. It latches onto the dwarf's upper shoulder, and at this point you sort of like watch as he flinches, his weapon drops, as he sort of like is pulled down by the weight of these creatures. You watch as the halfling just watches his comrade fall and says, "Dune, Travis, little help!" Before the beetle creature once again like tries to make a bite of him. He's able to skip out of the way just about and slash back, but the situation begins to look pretty dire. The half-elf, who has been sort of trying to keep the creatures at bay, sort of swears loudly before taking his bow out and firing at the shark jaw that's biting at his fairy friend, who thankfully is able to break free as the shark jaw's body just falls down on the ground, going limp. You can see that the bit that was his head has had several chunks taken out of it by the sickle. You watch as the sorry, my brain's just dying on me here. There's a lot going on. At which point, the fairy dashes forward over to where the dwarf is, puts his hand on his back, and you see arcane energy, again, what looks like a cure wound spell, go through into the dwarf, who is conscious but still lying on the ground. At this point, they're sort of all clumped together, with the exception of the human with the prosthetic limb. He's just kind of there with his trying to get this beetle's attention with his cannon. But you sort of watch as the beetle sort of like turns towards this now clump of individuals, and you watch he sort of like convulses slightly. And as its mouth opens, a jet of acid comes flying outwards. It goes in almost a clean straight line, hitting 3 of the ghosts. And you sort of watch as one by one, several of them fall down until eventually it's only the Artificer and the fairy that's left. At which point, the fairy sort of like flies up as high as he can and starts waving his arms like, hey, we're done, we're fucking done. Again, you hear the sound of crossbow bolts being fired as the various shark jaws get completely peppered by the onslaught. The beetle tries to charge forward towards the fairy, but stops, and you sort of like look over to the side where you can see the large Goliath that you've seen at the start of the day, who had amplified the voices, sort of muttering various arcane words, almost like he's putting a hold on the creature, like keeping it sedated or still. As the group are eventually dragged away, the clerics are able to apply their necessary healing onto the individuals. They're all helped up. The enlarged spell that was put onto the dwarf sort of goes, so he goes back to normal size. And they sort of give each other like a pat on the back, and they sort of walk back. The fairy's complaining the entire time. Again, Aki, you can read his lips, so he's like, oh, yeah, sure, no, we had that, right? Yeah, sure, the big-ass beetle that nearly killed Triggerby right there, and, you know, acid. No one told us about acid. Oh, and let's not forget, you guys fucking left me to deal with that. I don't know what the fuck that was. Eventually, the rest of you can hear the complaining as he's still doing it as they go into the waiting pits.
Looks like we will have our work cut out for us.
Yeah, that's 2 fights, 2 losses, 3 if you count the delegate. I'm not sure how well we're going to fare out there, honestly. But
Well,
we've come this far, haven't we? Might as well see it through.
we've come this far, and you should be confident, you know? Your mood affects everyone else's morale.
Yes, but there's a difference when common sense and reality trumps blind optimism.
Fuck it.
Aki, I'm not blindly optimistic. I understand that this is dangerous, but you're quivering in your boots. Do you think that that's helpful for us? You need to keep a level head.
The Troll King steps up, looking very unnerved now, given that he's next, but still with a degree of confidence. He's like, I mean, they did pretty decently, if I'm right on that one. It's just
Yeah, they didn't do poorly.
yeah, like they took 2 of them shark jaws down, and there was I didn't see how many there was 5 of them, and nearly took out one of them as well. It was just a beetle that really got him. Got a good hit on the small one, and I think they were banking off that, and the big guy. Well, The small guy who became big.
Yeah.
He's
See, you know, he's confident.
Yeah, sure. So I looked over the rest of his team. All of them outside of the human have sort of like got this look of sort of like unnervedness on it. The human just seems to be sort of like observing the field and such. Eventually,
You guys can do it.
I hope so. If not, then we're gonna at least give him a show, I guess.
Yeah.
At this point, they head down. You're joined by the other two teams. The Ambassador of Tender Earth has been there the entire time. The ones that had gone down are looking pretty worse for wear, but they're bandaged up well enough and everything. You sort of like see the dwarf. You can see he's got several sort of like red welt. He's taken off like most of his armor, so he's got like his tunic and such, or a bit of leather here. You can sort of see the red welts and scratch marks and such. The halfling's got a large bandage around his torso. The other one that doesn't really look hurt is the Artificer, unless you include his prosthetic arm, which I don't. The fairy himself, you can see there's just sort of like a red bandage. It's just like a bandage around his leg, which is stained quite a bit in red from blood. So you just sort of like take various seats. Most of them don't stand. They just all sort of like sit down, just like But you watch as the mercenaries sort of get themselves into their previous positions. There's once again sort of a look of unease from them. The portcullis opens and you see about 8 creatures. 2 of them smaller than slightly smaller than the others, but not by a whole lot. They come barreling out. You can clearly see that they're 4-legged creatures. And erupting from the portcullis, you see 4 direwolves, and immediately after them, you see what looks like almost like a robotish dog that sort of bring up the back line. So let me just quickly put them on the field. Once it loads, come on, load up already. There we go. All right. So, let me just quickly get this bit here. Two, three, four, five, six. There we go. Instantly, you watch as the Triton, who had been a bit more at the front, seeming to be still trying to convince things to go for him. You see him sort of like swish his sword around, almost like in a taunt effect, before he stops and quickly like dives out the way as the female trollkin sort of like steps forward in his place, holding up her shield as the dire will sort of like leap onto her and sort of like she nearly loses her balance at one point, but is able to sort of like hold just about until the male trollkin runs to the side and shoulder checks the direwolf that's currently latched onto his shield. The direwolf rolls up, gets knocked off the shield, rolls, and turns to face the male troll king, who sort of like swings his sword to try and essentially goad him. One of the troll kings get by to where the dragonborn is, and leaps. Being of smaller stature and nothing to sort of like anchor himself, you watch as the dragonborn is dragged downwards as the wolf begins sort of like biting into him, trying to aim for the neck. The female trollkin sort of like runs her hand across her hammer, which erupts into flames before slamming down onto the wolf. Already, the wolf that was nearest looks heavily wounded, but is still committed to attacking. The direwolf that is biting into the dragonborn gets slashed at by the human, whereas there's these two clockwork hounds give chase to the Triton and begin sort of like trying to back them towards the Artificer. The Triton at this point sort of like stabs outwards towards this clockwork hound. You hear the sound of metal hitting on metal, but the hound sort of like leaps away and sort of like shakes itself slightly. The wolf that was currently like biting down at the dragonborn is slashed at again by the human, who at this point that gets the wolf's attention, who leaps towards the human and essentially initiates in a duel with him. The dragonborn steps up, brushes himself off. You see a sort of almost like a shield envelop him slightly before he just sort of like cracks his knuckles and punches the wolf that had just jumped onto him in the flank. You watch as an arc of electricity goes through the wolf's body as it sort of tries to readjust itself, but you can see that the wolf is moving a lot more sluggishly. The wolf that was fighting with the male Troll King bites into his leg before it's kicked again by the male Troll King, slashed across the flank, and as the wolf makes another leap at the male Troll King, he prepares for it and thrusts his sword directly through its chest, killing it instantly. He pulls the wolf off the sword and is now standing back to back with the female Trollkin as the various wolves are surrounding him. Despite the fact that he was looking okay, he's now you can see like he's got a very noticeable limp and is sort of like struggling to keep himself going. The clockwork hounds eventually is able to pull back the Triton towards where the Dragonborn is, and sort of like trying to hem them in. At this point, one of the remaining direwolves charges past the female Troll King and leaps onto the Triton, dragging him down again. He's able to throw him off, but as the Triton like stands up, he's looking real rough. The clockwork hound tries to leap at the Dragonborn, but you see so like the shield flare, the shield around him flares, and you watch as the hound so like stops an inch before hitting the Dragonborn before turning and ramming into the Triton. The Triton goes flying through the air before landing on the ground and isn't getting up. The female Trollkin, being close enough, so like steps back, places her hand on the Triton's back, and you watch as a cure wound spell goes through. Before you see the clockwork hounds sort of like converge on the human who's still dueling with the direwolf and the Triton who is still on the ground. You sort of watch as the first clockwork leaps into the air and lands directly on the Triton's head. You swear you hear a crunch of metal, of bone, and as the hound like steps off, the Triton again is not particularly moving. Whereas as the onslaught of the hound and the direwolf, eventually you see the human get knocked down to the ground as he is bitten into. At this point, the Dragonborn, who's like been readying a punch, so like just raises his hand to signal a surrender. To which at that point, immediately after he does that, surrender, he sort of like looks down at the direwolf that's still attacking the human, and sort of like punches it again. You watch as the wolf falls down to the side and is still, leaving only the two clockwork hounds remaining. Oh no, there's another direwolf still. But you watch as the clockwork hounds like stop instantly, turn towards the remaining direwolf, which is approaching the male Trollkin, and charge towards it, essentially hounding it off. You watch as the direwolf is sort of like herded by the two clockwork hounds back into the portcullis before following after it. and the portcullis closes. Clerics again run onto the scene and sort of help out with the fallen. They're all helped up. Both trollkins are sort of looking tired, but you see the female one has got like a big beaming smile on her face, while the others sort of like look dejected. You can see the male one is trying to give encouragement to the to those that had basically taken the brunt of the hits before they are brought back into the pits, where they are. You hear some arguing taking place, but for the most part, it's just kind of a dejected feeling.
And another one bites the dust. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I agree. We can do it. We got this.
The fairy speaks up. Well, I mean, hey, if you guys win this, you get the first place pots all to yourselves.
Indeed, we do.
Yeah. Also, we all gotta share the second place one. That's gonna suck.
Well, we better aim high then.
Oh, by all means, do whatever you need to do. I'm happy with whatever we get at this point.
Mev actually looks the fairy over. Is he okay? After what happened?
Make an insight check.
Okay. If my sheet will pop up. There we go.
20. He's pissed.
Poor thing.
Like he's clearly like got that sportsmanship where it's like, go for it. But he's also pissed because he's missed out on his chance of getting an even bigger payouts. Plus, probably a little bit bitter about being left by his teammates to deal with a shark jaw by himself.
Yeah.
So it's an understandable bitterness, but he's not like trying to. Any bitterness towards you is not his intention. He's just got a lot of bitterness and it's spouting out here and there.
Yeah, Mev leans in a little bit. And she just gives him like this her natural coquettish smile. Thank you for being such a good sport.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess whatever I get here is going to be a decent enough payout, so whatever.
Well, I hope so. After all the things that they threw at you guys? Whew.
Yeah. They never seem to have taken it well enough, at the very least.
Then death.
Yeah. Suppose if it came to it, I would take whatever money I got, then death. Could get more later on, I guess.
Exactly.
At which point the dwarf speaks up. Know your place, Dune. Yeah, I get it. For the glory of Johan, yada yada yada.
I'm sorry, that takes me back.
Well, keep in mind, the fairy is a member of the ghosts, who are loyal to the kingdom of Johan. At this point, the mercenaries from the previous round sort of come up. They seem to have calmed down at this point. The two trollkins are sort of like the female one still got the beaming smile on her face, whereas the other one, the male one, sort of like looks to you, sort of like looks a bit sheepish, just like, well, we tried.
You did, and you did a good job.
Yeah.
You should be proud of what you accomplished.
Oh, I am, yeah, and Quack was having the blast, clearly. At this point, she says, "Oh, I just wish that we could do this again." Yeah, but maybe not immediately, Quack. You see all the others are just sort of like sitting down at this point.
Well, there's always next year, right?
Yeah. If we're still doing stuff around here, then maybe we could. Maybe we'll think about it.
There's
Don't know.
also lots of forests. You can always go there.
Well, we came from forests, so yeah. Like we were in the lands a bit near the north, not Tenet Earth, but north of the continent. Me and Quare here.
Is it Claire or Quare?
Qurair.
Quare, okay. I was unsure if I was hearing that right.
It's probably a mixture of my accent and the voice I'm putting on for the guy.
Yep. All right. Are we next then?
Yeah, but at this point, you sort of like one of the Leonin from before says, "Talaria, you're up."
Oh, yes, right. All right. Is everyone ready?
You know, they haven't wished us luck yet.
Oh, right.
Let's do this.
Sorry. Good luck to you all. Please don't die.
Oh, we'll be fine. It will be okay.
If you say so, just be careful.
Right. Thank you. Mev will go ahead and head, I guess down and out is how that's structured.
Yep, down the stairs, and you basically do a 180, and you leave out through the portcullis into the arena.
Nice.
Yeehaw.
Because this is a shorter session, and also I'd really like to go get food. Can I call for a short break?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
If we are all ready. So, at this point, the crowd are very hyped up. They're ready for whatever comes, and you watch as the portcullis doesn't open this time.
Oh no.
Instead, you watch as a man sort of like walks up, sort of like rubs his hands together. He looks around nervously, just to like notice you all, just like puts up his hand like a 1 second kind of deal. And you see him begin chanting as he sort of like marks a circle on the ground. You watch as the circle glows and sort of like increases in intensity until there's a bright flash. Only for a weird 4-legged creature appears. It almost looks like a dog with like black metal armored plates on it. But its face is... We know how squashed a pug's face is. It's even more than that. You don't even see a nose. You just see a large, circular, toothy maw. And it sort of like opens its mouth in a roar, and you watch as this long, spiked tongue erupt out of it and sort of like lash onto the ground before retreating back into the mouth. So, I will drag it onto the board, and I need everyone... Oops, that's the wrong button. And I need everyone to roll initiative.
That seems pretty cringe. Okay.
Soup. Sorry, I'm happy with my soup. I've been waiting like 3 days for it.
What flavor is it?
Oh, what happened?
Huh?
My initiative popped up and then it vanished.
I see your initiative on there. It's 11.06.
It's not. Well, it's not on the turn order thingy.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll just add it on manually.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It popped up for a second and then disappeared.
Initiative?
Havelock still did better than you, Peach, getting a natural 1.
Oh.
Listen.
Only just.
Only just, but still.
It's because it went to the decimals.
Hee 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 hee.
Because you have a better dex than me.
I'm not a fighter.
God, your dex is insane. You can have Dex fighters. I just did not build her that way.
Yeah, Dex fighters exist. One of the Liam's character in Critical Role is a Dex fighter. Dex
It's
fighter
on
Master.
that 20s from here. Hell yeah, that's the energy we need.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, top of the round. Aki, you're up.
Am I now?
Yes, you are. Just.
Delightful. Okay.
So, just a quick question. There's only one of these things?
Just one of these things.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Okay. Right?
Aki is gonna move.
That's how I
in-
feel.
In the back. And then let's see. Let's throw up a spell of some kind. Something remarkably similar to.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Keep in mind, you can't see past this rock.
That's a point. I'll get there then.
Yeah, you can see from there.
Can I see him?
Yeah, you got line of sight from him.
Awesome. Do I be so rash, so bold, so have such vision
Oh my goodness.
to you? Did you say he's made out of metal?
It's not. It's more of a natural armor as opposed to like actual metal. It just has like a metallic coloring to it.
Oh, okay, cool. In that case,
It's more like a carapace basically than actual metal.
in that case, I would like to use my last.
Your last what, Aki?
Your last what?
Your last what?
I was gonna use my last second level spell slot to put a moonbeam on top of him.
Okay. Just circle. All right, yeah, I gotta put it as that, not that one.
Man, Moonbeam is so good.
It is great.
So
Yeah.
let me just. I'll just use the Core Lightning one again. Good old faithful Core Lightning bubble. And it's that big, isn't it?
It's 5 feet radius.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
so...
Yeah, that's right, Ben.
Yep, that's correct.
Guys, I'm not in roll 20 right now.
I'll move this to the map player so that way we can still see it, but see where everything else is. Maybe I should have done that to begin with.
Nice. Gets fucked. And remember, and again, it's damage on the creature's
On
turn.
the creature's turn. It'd be 3x3, Nate, because it's if it was diameter, then it'd be 2x2. But it's radius, which is the full length of this, which is basically the from the middle. If I remember correct. Yeah, radius is from the middle. Diameter is the full, like, edge to edge, basically. So yeah. Okay, and is that your turn?
Yes, that's my turn.
Okay, so this needs to make a con save.
It is a con save. Yeah, tell you what. Let me roll for it quickly.
Yeah.
See, can I? Yeah, it is con. And let me just check. I think the save is it 16. My spell saves.
If you roll for the damage with the spell, it should pop up the DC.
Okay, where is it?
Ooh, it might make that save.
Yeah, curse level 2.
Let's quickly check. DC 16. It just made the save.
You son of a bitch!
So it takes half damage.
Have your 5 damage, you bad boy. Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, I just need to see how far away it is. That is a distance. Okay. However, this is a speedy boy. So first thing it's going to do is 5, 10. So if like leaps over the rubble. And actually, it is going to use its tongue attack on kindling. So That is a dirty 20. So 20 total, 20 total to hit. Alrighty. So first most the damage. Yeah, I got a second. Where's my over d20? No, there's my over d20. Not 20. D12 even. Because you take... Oh, that was shitty. That was so shitty. You take 8 points of piercing damage. As you watch as it sort of like stops, it opens its mouth and the tongue, almost like a frog's tongue, so like leaps out. It misses you, Kindling, before wrapping around and essentially like wraps you up with your arms. You are now restrained, and it's going to pull you into it, where it's going to now attack with one of its claws. So if I remember correctly, restrained, it's advantage, if I remember correctly. Let me just double check, because I don't want to accidentally roll more than I should. Restrained, creatures, +0, attack rolls have advantage, creatures... Okay, yeah, so it is advantage. Yeah, just want to make sure. So... that definitely hits, but let's see if he rolls higher. He does roll higher, but not dangerous amount. That'd be a 21 to hit. Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
And so with that second hit, you take 15 points of slashing damage. Okay. And that is its turn. Havelock, you're up.
I would like to send Dawes this way. He can chill on this rock here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, if he has enough movement, I'd like to get him right here.
Oh, easily. I only assume he's like, I don't know, maybe 10 feet up.
Yeah, I'd like to bring him in so he can make an attack
Okay.
with advantage because Kindling is there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a bit tied up at the moment, but yeah, sure. So that...
Exactly. He's distracted.
So let me just roll for... do you want to roll for Dawes, or should I?
You can roll if you want.
Okay.
I know you like to use your dice.
Okay, because I rolled twice. He rolled a natural 1 and a 4.
Dawes. Oh well.
And yeah, he
And
only takes
then-
1 attack, so yeah.
Yep. I would like to make my way down here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would like to attack.
Okay, make your attack.
I would like to use Liamar one-handed.
Alrighty.
Would I have advantage on? Awesome.
Just misses.
Damn. Alright. I end my turn.
Okay. Mevele, you're up.
Right.
There. Let's go ahead and do. Let's see. I'm calculating. All right. Run up here and summon Valkyr right here. Surround them.
Okay. Okay, there you are.
All right. What would it be to try to like fuck up this tongue that's holding Kindling?
I'd say you can make it an attack roll, though it'll be a higher DC.
Okay, that's fine. I have advantage because flanked.
Mhm.
All right, then Valkyr will go ahead and make 2 attacks.
Okay, make the attacks. So I just want to check to make sure. So the second one would hit if you're hitting the creature, but I'd say if you're specifically aiming to like cut off its tongue, That would be a miss.
Okay.
So you can either take the hit onto the creature, or you can take the miss on the tongue.
I'll say first tongue, second creature, and if I try that again, I'll keep that order.
Okay, so basically then if you aim for the tongue, it misses, unfortunately.
Okay, so the second one hits the body, though, right?
The second one would hit the creature, yes. The first one would just
Okay.
miss in general.
All right, that is fine. Then they'll take 11 points of slashing, and when I try that again, it'll be first tongue, second body, just same order.
Okay, alright. That seems fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah, so you sort of like slash into the creature's flesh. Even though it's Valkyr doing it, you sort of get a feedback of the like the hits. And it sort of like slashes in, but it's like it feels weird. Like if it weren't like being Valkyr, like being a magical creature ish, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Mark. It goes in, but you feel a lot of give. Like it takes a lot of almost like mental fortitude to push through it.
Ugh. What is that?
All right, is that your turn?
I think. Sorry, I have to check. That's not the right thing.
Yeah, so use 20
All right,
feet
I'm
to
gonna
get
take.
there.
I'm gonna take my steps back.
Alrighty.
Which, yeah, Valkyr's still in range of me, so.
Yeah, because it's 30 feet, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
It's 30 feet.
Okay, is that your turn?
Yep, that's my turn.
All right, Kinlan, you're up. You're currently restrained, which means any attacks that you do against him will be disadvantaged, and your speed is 0. Okay, that is a strength check. $18, yeah, that you are no longer restrained. Okay, so that was your action to break free and bonus action rage. Okie dokie. Marine, you're up.
Okay, so first of all, I'm putting on my shroud.
Okie dokie.
Yep, and it will be cold damage again.
Alrighty.
And I think we have a pretty good tactic of box this thing the fuck in. So I'm going to go and help out with that and make my 2 attacks.
Alrighty. Yeah, that first one hits. Wait, hang on. Wait,
Alright.
you don't have advantage, so I would say those are 2 separate attacks, because you rolled with advantage, unless you want to roll again, just as a straight roll for your second hit. Oh, right, yeah, totem. Duh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why'd you make me go on that tangent there?
Listen, sometimes people can't type fast enough.
You know what? I'm also going to smite on that.
Okay.
Get on the ground. Dog creature thing.
So it's what, it needs to make a strength save, or be knocked prone?
No, it's just knocks prone.
That doesn't sound right. Let me have a look. What's it called? Eldritch Smite? Or something like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's it. What's my turn?
Yeah, usually there's a save for these things.
Nah, it just says, and you knock the target prone if it's huge or smaller. Okay.
The fuck?
Yeah, it's dirty like that.
Is Kindling still grappled?
Nope.
Nope.
No,
Break free.
okay. I was gonna say, if he's still grappled, does that mean he's prone?
Oh, that's why there's no save. It's because it burns a warlock spell slot.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think that means Marine's already burnt both spell slots.
Yeah, but I have a concentration spell up, and Jesus.
22 points. Did it say what damage? I was gonna say, what damage did it say?
It's force.
Force damage. Oh, well, that's. Why would I even bother looking that up then? Because it doesn't matter what resistances anything has, because force has practically got nothing.
So it's just Thunderous Smite without the strength save because you only get 2 spell slots.
Yeah, essentially.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Also, and also, now here comes the shroud damage.
And is that cold damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now for the second attack.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright. And another.
Alrighty.
And that is turn.
Alright. Acrease, you're up.
Okay. You s- Oh god.
Yeah.
My retract. Sorry, my retract. My my roll 20 is being really annoying. Hold on, I'm just being booged out again. So I think. Oh no, I can't do that because my spell slot pissed. How big is a rhinoceros?
Do we even have a rhino available? Yes, we do. This is how big a rhinoceros is. I'm just going to drag it on for you.
If you're trying to become one, I'm not even sure you're at the level for that.
Ah, okay.
Rhino's a challenge rank of 2.
Yeah, which is impossible unless you have
I'm
Moon.
not looking to transform into it.
Hmm?
I'm not looking to transform into it.
Yeah, I'm just saying this is what it looks like.
Okay. Well,
Tom just wants to show off the assets.
Well, no, because you're surrounded. I don't think I can get off moon. I can't move the moonbeam without hurting you guys.
Yep.
So I will deactivate the moonbeam.
Okie dokie. Moonbeam goes.
And
What you doing, Ed?
I'm thinking.
Think faster, otherwise you will skip your
I'm
turn.
trying.
Do 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 do. Do do do
I'm
do
planning
do
to
do do
use.
do.
I'm planning. Jesus, I'm fucking planning to break out conjure animals. I'm trying to find a good one. It's so annoying that he's surrounded.
I'll give you one more minute, Ed.
I know. They're all fucking large. Damn it. Okay, fine.
Let's see. Me and you are melee. Havelock, the way that Havelock is built is fairly melee. Marine has the option of being ranged or melee, so like, yeah.
Yeah.
Made
Yeah,
up your
I'm
mind.
gonna move. I'm gonna move close to here.
Yep.
How's people's damage?
Health-wise, you mean?
Damage.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay, how's
I think
Kindling?
Kindling's the only one that's been attacked.
Kindling, how bad the attack?
He says
Look it
he's
out.
looking okay.
Uh,
Okay. In that case, I will... Nice. I think I will...
my
go here,
favorite.
and I will... hold my action, because there's not a lot I can do
Okay,
right now.
what are you holding your action to do? Like, what's gonna be? What are you gonna do, and what's the trigger for it?
Tell you what, because like there's this line here, I will go behind Kindling,
Mm-hmm.
and if he gets attacked again, I will prepare sort of so. I will prepare a. Can I prepare a cured wounds?
Yeah.
A cure wounds, so if he takes damage again, I'll heal him.
Yes, but keep in mind, if he doesn't take damage, the spell's wasted. That's what happens when you hold a spell. You're using the spell slot and everything, but if the trigger doesn't happen, you just waste a spell slot.
Fair enough.
You still going with
Okay.
that? Okay.
Well, he's still bounded. He's still
No, he
bounded
isn't.
up, isn't he?
No, he broke free.
No, he's not. Oh, okay. In that case, I will. For fuck's sake! Okay. I can't do anything.
You can run up and hit it, like.
What, can I go here and hit it?
Yeah.
Okay, in that case, I'll hit it then.
Okay, you have advantage because Kindling's raging. And it's prone anyway, so it would have been advantage.
Just
anyway.
fucking hit it.
He's not a hitty boy, but okay.
When in doubt, just punch it. You're a wizard, you don't know what you're gonna do? Fucking run up to the big bass and bad and punch it. What's the worst that could happen?
Some damage is better than no damage.
Yep, okay, well that hits.
See, look at that. That's great. That's 5 extra damage.
So it's funny you say that, because the sort of like mental like fortitude you needed, you kind of watch as Aki slashes into the flesh, and you think, like, based on their hit, like you've got a pretty good idea like how well a hit is, and you just say like, okay, that's gotta do some sizable damage. But then watching, sort of like, almost like it stops partway in, and you just kind of there like, there's no way that should be more. That should have stopped at that point.
Oof.
Okay, is that your turn, Aki?
Yeah, I don't have any bonus stuff I need to do now. Yeah.
Okay, the kennel off is going to use half its movement to get up, and I don't even say roll for this, because it knows what's just done a shit ton of damage to it, and it's pissed, so it's going for Marine for its first hit. Because it's mad.
Fucking do it.
That is a... Hold on, let me just read that. God, I love this dice, but sometimes it's hard to tell the letters, or the numbers on it. That's a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so you kind of watch, and you sort of like see the creature stand up, and you watch its mouth open wide, wider than you were expecting. You sort of prepare yourself for the tongue, only for it to lunge forward and bite into you. You take... give me a second. 19 points of piercing damage. And it's going to keep going with a claw attack on you. That's a miss. That is 11 to hit on the second one, so yeah, that misses.
Got it.
But I need you to make a concentration check because you shroud his concentration.
Yeah.
9. Oh wait, you got what's it called? Bowcaster, don't you?
No, I don't. So
Would it be the 9?
it would just be the 9. Yeah. So
You've lost
yeah.
the shroud.
Damn it.
All right, and it can't really move at the moment. It's kind of surrounded. So, yeah, it's just gonna end its turn in this situation. Is Kindling raging? Yeah, but I don't think Kindling's thing is advantage on saving throws? I think.
No, that's I was asking for future stuff.
Yeah, he's raging at the moment. Alright.
Okay.
Havelock, you're up.
Awesome. I'm not using my shield at the moment, and I would like to attack with Liamar two-handed.
Okay.
Boop.
You have advantage.
Aha!
Because Valkyr is behind him and... okay, yeah, that the second one hits. So that
Flash.
is- And again, like with Aki, like you sort of like you dig the axe hard into the carapace, you still like feel the flesh give, and then just stops, and you just kind of there like, wait, no, I swung this harder than this. What?
I would also like Dawes to attack again.
Okie dokie. That's hits. So it takes 5 points of piercing damage. And let me just check something here. And so, like, watch as the poison go in. The creature seems unaffected. And Dawes just says, "Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me again!"
It's okay, buddy. We can't win them all.
This is bullshit. I swear someone up high has got something against me.
Do you want to be a bird? You can be a bird.
No. Fuck it. Just let's kill this thing. God. Gods. Or my gods, not your fuck your god. Whatever. Okay.
Okay, so
Yes.
I know, Dom.
guys, I don't think your hits are doing as much as you want it to. And I'm going to do. I'm going to do an attack, and then unleash incarnation. So just keep in mind that I do have one extra attack
Uh-huh.
for what I do next. Okay.
So, okay, yeah. Because you're essentially doing
Alright.
the Echo Knight's version of Flurry of Blows, pretty much.
Yeah. So I make 2 attacks on the body.
Jeez.
Yes.
I mean, at this point, it has its tongue in its mouth, so you can't hit the mouth anyway.
Yep.
So...
I'm assuming that hits.
yeah, both hit.
All right. And then I would like to use with my bonus action, since I have an extra attack, Commander's Strike, and Mev is going to call out, Kindling, big guy, come on, get angrier, show them what you're made of, bop, bop, bop. And Kindling can make an attack.
I'm sorry. I love how that's a spell in D&D, or like a ability you can have, which is just going to someone and say, "Hey, dude, just hit him." Like,
Yeah. I mean, that's from the Battlemaster.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's from Battle.
Have you tried hitting him, dude? I'm like, oh yeah, one.
You get so many. You technically have advantage.
That was
'Cause-
awesome.
Yeah,
Gods.
you have advantage.
Also, I'm pretty sure you give yourself advantage with the totem. Be really weird if you didn't.
Battlemaster is such a cool subclass.
That's why I took the feat.
Aren't you cool?
So that, and then... Okay. It's looking pretty rough.
That will end my turn, but Mev just goes, woo!
Okay, and at the end of your turn, it's now Kinlan's turn proper.
Yeah! Maul it, maul it.
Give it a big hug.
First one hits, second one misses. Okay. That is your turn. Marine, you're up.
Well, this thing's on me, so there's only one thing left to do. I'm gonna start attacking it from. I'm gonna start attacking its jaws from the inside.
It doesn't technically have a jaw.
Does it have an inside?
It has an inside, but its mouth's closed.
Okay.
Well, time to just start smashing it.
It's, I think I already know what Peach is going to say. Yes, it's a mutant Lalafell.
Not what I was gonna say, but
Okay. Alright, you hit it. It's looking real rough, but it's still standing.
I just give a thumbs up from inside the maw.
Alright. And that's your turn, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay. Akrisk, what you doing?
Hello? Hello?
What's your
Yeah,
plan here, buddy?
I know. I'm looking for. Okay. I guess because a lot of my plans were going to be fucking it up, but people are too close for it.
Oh yeah, I had this great plan. It would have just completely done in one turn, but everyone's around it.
again, this is why you need to change some of your spells for not AoEs.
All right.
Well, he knows now for the future. You live, you learn.
We talked about this.
Well, he knows for the future now, especially after this.
It's almost like I've never played. I've never played a.
Spellcaster before. It's like his.
Yeah.
It's like his first character was literally single target only.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But I'm bad at I'm bad at this.
To be fair, spellcasters have a real hard time
Yeah.
because they have so many options.
Do I summon like a fuck ton of animals just to annoy people?
Are we gonna have elephants on parade?
Because my
Yeah.
plan was to summon a rhinoceros and fuck it up using that.
I mean, you can. There's still this bit here and here. It's not a complete box in.
Well, yeah, but it has this bit of terrain, doesn't it?
This isn't. This is like low terrain, and it can still stand on it. It's not like this where it's like, you know, like the sides of a one-story house. It's like this is just, as I said, you can only be in like cover if a regular-sized creature's sitting down with its back to it, and even then its head's exposed.
Okay.
It's
No, I need to check
literally like waist high at most for a normal creature.
Yeah.
So what you doing, Ed?
All right. Fuck it. Let's do this. This is probably going to be an enormous waste, but yeah, fuck it. You will watch as
Yeah, to be fair, this is round 3.
yeah. I'm not with it today. You watch it. Yeah. So here,
Yep.
I would like rhinoceros to spawn in, please.
Boom.
Okay, but I need to roll its initiative. Hold on. I can get you. Nice. Now I need to. How do I roll initiative?
Roll a d20, and I'll just add whatever extras it has,
Let me check.
which would be a -1.
Ah, well. So it needs to get, for my plan to work, it needs to get at least, like, over a 16. Okay.
Yeah, it needs to roll, a 60. It needs to roll 17 technically, because then it would go based off their dex score, and the creature has a higher dex score than the rhino. 12, so
Okay,
that's 11. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's...
It's all the way down. Actually, it's before Mev, because Mev's got a dex of 6, is it?
Yeah, Mev's got a dex of 6.
Yeah, this thing's got a dex of 8.
When a rhino is more dexterous than you. Now you can say that she's fucking.
I was sort of...
One sec. I want to check something here now. I want to check something. Please say there's just... Oh, there isn't. No. No. Damn. I was gonna see if she had less dex than a turtle.
Oh my god.
But there is no turtle. The closest you've got is like dragon turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'll also check.
As graceful as a bull in a china shop.
Well, I can say that the dragon turtle's more dexterous than Mev.
So I say, I just go. I have an idea, but I'd recommend us backing up a little bit. As Aki moves there, and ends his turn.
Okay. It is now the creature's turn. Everyone's dealt a decent chunk of damage to it, so... Okay, I want someone to call a number between 1 and 6. Like, each of you to call a number between 1 and 6. Can't be the same number.
2.
6.
Not you, Mev. Well, actually, yeah, it would be for Valkyr, so...
Yeah, I thought for Valkyr.
And for Daz as well? Oh, wait, that just leaves Daz with 1, doesn't it? Yeah, it leaves Daz with 1. Okay. Let's see who he goes for.
I hate when this happens.
He rolled a 3.
Fucking do it.
I got an idea to make it just so that it can be decided on what the attack is. Dom, roll a d20. Above a 10, he's going to bite. Below a 10, he's going to use his tongue. He's going to bite you, okay. So, his bite attack is... Oh, I think that's a miss. 15?
No.
Okay. I will roll again to see who he goes for this time. No, he rolled 3 again. Great. And his... That's a miss as well, then, if the 15 missed. Okay, yeah. It tries to bite at you, but it's sort of like... You almost, like, shove the anchor into its mouth as it sort of, like, clamps down on it. It tries to claw at you, but you're sort of, like, keeping it at bay, and you shove it back a bit. Yeah, that's its turn. It can't do shit, and it's too stupid to escape. Havelock, you're up.
Awesome. Cool. I'm gonna rinse and repeat what I did last time. Two-hand and then Daz.
Okay.
And I need to put that as advantage. Bap.
Misses.
Awesome. Daz, go.
He rolled a natural 20.
Hell yeah, let's go, spicy little man.
Let's see.
Spicy little man.
Okay. He's sort of like... You actually watch as Daz sort of like latches onto its head as it begins to like sort of like lashing them out. You watch it he poises his stinger as he sort of like stabs. He misses once, misses twice, and then the third one hits home and it goes right into the creature's eye. You hear a pop as the eyeball bursts out and like its tongue like lashes out and tries to like get at Daz, who leaps off his head and flies out of the way. You just see him sort of like, once he realizes he's safe, he sort of like grabs his tail and starts like scraping off all the visceral and gore on it. It's like, ugh, yeah, fucking, ugh.
That is an owl.
Okay. The creature's still standing, by the way, but it's not looking good. And is that your turn, Havelock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really? Okay, this should be interesting.
It's the rhino's turn. I assume it's a case of you tell the rhino what to do.
It is, yeah. Which it's a case of doing. Can I move him? How much movement has a rhino got these days?
40 feet.
Ooh, lovely. That's plenty. Okay. Can I move him just like so he's in line with just move him down one square so he's in line with the creature.
Okay. I mean, technically he is in line with the creature.
Awesome. And then I want him to move right up the fuck next to it.
Okay, Dawes is in the way, technically. You could do it there, because then once it finishes the charge, it'll be here, which is still
And
within
then I can
attack
attack.
range. Yeah, so...
Awesome. And then
Because I know what you're planning to do. You're planning to make use of its charge attack, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to charge and gore. So it's
So let me just quickly check.
2d8 plus 5, and then on top of that,
Oh yeah, you can easily do that.
a 2d8.
Okay, well, Jesus Christ, this thing's got a high plus to hit. Roll a d20 plus 7 for its attack with advantage because
A
kindling.
d20 plus 7.
Yeah, a d20 plus 7. It's got a plus 7 to hit. I just did a double take. It's like, wait a second.
Oh, you right. Oh, right. Shit. Sorry, I forgot about the whole melee thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so roll
So
d20 and then add 7 to it, and you have advantage because kindling. Because I assume kindling consider the rhino an ally.
Does he?
Unfortunately, that's a miss.
Are you fucking? Oh man.
It's an armor class of 16 you gotta meet, buddy. So you watch as the rhino charges forward. The creature that's sort of like been lashing out, trying to get people away, like notices the rhino, and you actually watch it sort of like digs in. It like digs into the ground and braces. It impacts. There's a sound of like carapace breaking, and the creature just like keeps itself anchored. Its tongue wraps around part of the terrain to help. And then as it does it, so like shoves the rhino back a bit and retracts the tongue. You can see that the part of the carapace which took the hit is now cracked. And you can see like the soft like underskin, I guess it's called. I don't know the words. English is hard.
Yeah, fair enough.
The gooey innards, the gooey, the flesh, the underflesh or whatever. The flesh underneath the carapace. Fuck it. Like, I'm stopping digging this hole. Yeah, the unprotected flesh underneath. There we go.
Man, I could go for some unprotected flesh.
Bow. Alright, and that's Rhino's turn, I assume, because... because it's only a single attack.
My hopes and dreams, but yes.
Okay, Mev, you're up.
Me? Wow.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Man, does Aki still need us to move back for the rhino? I don't know.
Sorry.
Good. Aki said to move back for the rhino before.
He did, and then the rhino did its thing.
But,
You
yeah.
don't need to now, it's fine.
Alright, then I'm gonna go ahead and make my 2 attacks with Valkyr.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Okay.
Hits.
So the first one misses, the second one hits, and how do you want to do this?
Oh, how do I want to do this?
Or how does Valkyr want to
Wow.
do this?
Fucking, how does Valkyr want to do this? Is there any chance that, like, I can pry the maw open with my glaive, yank the tongue out, and cut it off?
Okay, specifically be
Just
Valkyr doing it.
stylistically.
Yeah, it'd be Valkyr doing it, but yes.
Yes, please.
So, Valkyr sort of like adjusts himself now that he's got to contend with a big rhino on his right flank, sort of squishing him in a bit. as it sort of like stabs into the cracked carapace. It doesn't find purchase, but it gets the creature's attention, which sort of like instantly, like its head snaps towards Valkyria and it spits its tongue out. You watch as this large, burly, shadow-like creature like just leans back really quickly and reaches almost like you guys saw that part in The Phantom Menace where Qui-Gon Jinn grabs Jar Jar's tongue.
Yes.
It's like that, but bigger scale. Like he's got his entire fist around the tongue. You watch he sort of like wraps his arm around, so he's wrapping the tongue around his arm like once, twice, almost lifting the creature up as he's holding the glaive to keep it like on the ground. It's just like, this has become a problem that I need to fix. And he pulls back with his free hand, and you sort of like watch as the tongue just flies out the mouth completely. A fountain of blood comes from the creature's mouth as most of its lower parts of its throat is ripped out too from it. It flails about, like you see it try to use its tongue again, but it no longer has it, as it just eventually just staggers, falls, and you kind of watch as it just quickly dissipates into flames, the tongue included.
Well, all right then.
I expect roaring applause.
There's a few seconds of silence, to which like Valkyrie just kind of like being the one that got the killing blow, just kind of looks as best you can, because then you can't see his facial features, so like looks just like just raises his arm in victory with the glaive, and then the crowd just yeah.
Aki just kind of looks stunned and just goes, "Wait, there's no more. Is it that's it? We won, yes."
There doesn't seem to be any creatures coming.
Yeah, Mev looks over to the guy, just like, we won?
You just saw like when you look at the he's just there like just clapping, applauding with a smile on his face.
Woo! Mev jumps over to them and starts like pulling them all in a group hug. We win!
We did it.
I am going to need some new metal for my arm, though.
Oh, we'll be rolling in money. We can definitely get you some.
See, I told you guys. Walk in the park.
You just need to go in with confidence, Aki.
Question for Aki. Is the rhino still up?
Yes, the rhino's still up. He's still focused on the rhino.
I'm gonna go pet a rhino.
I don't know what a rhino sounds like. I know, like, I think it's got like a higher pitch, like, but I don't know what a growling
It's
one's
surprisingly higher pitch than you think.
Yeah. We don't have rhinos over here, shush.
Tom furiously Googling what does a rhino sound like.
No, I know what a rhino's call sounds like. It's much higher pitch than that, but I'm pretty sure their normal pitch is lower.
Yeah.
Like when they just make like general noises, it's much lower pitch. It's just when they make their call, it's higher pitch. I don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
Nah, I'm looking for the fucking pictures of the rhino I took at the zoo last time I was there.
Nice.
I haven't been to a zoo since I was 6, so I haven't seen rhinos in years.
Really?
Yeah.
You can go to a zoo.
Yeah,
Don't you live? You must live near-ish to Chester Zoo.
yeah,
right?
that's a zoo I went to.
Yeah, it's a fucking great zoo.
Yeah. Anyway. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll go over to the rhino as well and sort of give it a pat and sort of do like. Although you can tell Aki's sort of walking weird. He almost seems in a bit of a daze, and kind of goes over to him and also like pats him on the side and sort of goes like, "Well, I guess we didn't exactly need you, big fellow." and I see Havelock Havelock also fondling the rhino, and I kind of eyes look to him and go.
Fondling.
Eyes go.
Edward, can you choose a different choice of word, please?
Really?
Okay, fine. Yeah, true. That was. Yeah. Okay. Mistakes were made. Okay. Showing affection to the rhino, and I'll just go. I look to Havelock and go. Havelock, is it okay if I take him back to his home now?
Yeah, that's okay. He was good.
Okay. Tell you what, while we're celebrating, we can brainstorm a name for him.
Okay.
Let's get like, you did well. Give him another pat, and you just watch it. He just into mist.
Alrighty. So, you make your way back into the pits. Several of the other contestants are there, sort of like they sort of give you like pats on the back and such and everything. To which at this point the Leonin from before, the one that you had signed up, comes in. You can see his belt's got several what looks like several pouches attached to him. It's like, all right, everyone, have come on, it's for your winnings now. You see them all sort of like gather upwards, sort of like hands one towards the ambassador of the Alternative Earth, who just shakes her head. We were not in this for the money. Merely I wanted to see what your warriors had to offer and what threats you had. The money is not important. Give it to one of the others. Alright. Looks towards the others that had forfeited in the second round. Guess you'll all get a bit of extra gold in. I'll count that up later. But, Talaria!
Yes.
Catch! He just takes the biggest pouch and throws it at you. Like, underarm, obviously.
Yeah, Matt will go ahead and grab it.
Okay.
Wait, I like kindlings everybody to make a dex save.
No,
He's trying to catch it.
no, I'm not. If that's the case, I sit out.
Alright. So you grab the pouch. It is filled with actually platinum pieces.
Yes.
There
We got big money.
is in total 600 platinum in there.
Oh, that's
Oh.
so much.
That's so much money.
Oh my
That is-
god.
Or if you want to go by the gold amount, that's 6,000 gold.
Holy shit. All right, someone quick, do the math, please.
120 each.
Wait, that's 120 platinum each, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
according to kindling.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
God, we're all just sitting there like fucking gremlins over this bag of money.
Yeah. I guess I'll go because I'll go over to Mev and go. Well, what's our prize?
A fuck ton of money. Look, Mev just takes out like a fistful of platinum.
Yeah. Aki will just pluck one out and like lick it in between his thumb and forefinger and go. The stars, that's platinum.
I'm gonna take one of those and I'm gonna bite it.
It's platinum.
It hurts your teeth when you bite into it. It's genuine.
Oh.
That
Genuine
means it's
fucking
legit.
platinum!
There's hundreds in there. That's enough.
That's what happens when you're the only one that gets it through to the final round and win.
We could build our own country estate with this much.
Oh, honey, this isn't silver. This is better than silver. It's better than gold.
Mm-hmm.
Were the hold on, I'm writing this in
Give
the
me a
notes.
moment.
Since we were the only team
I'm calculating right now.
fight, we get all of the winners' purse. It was 600 platinum, right?
600 platinum, yes.
A whopping I'm going to put this in bold on my notes. 600.
Yeah, would have been significantly less if, you know, more than one person made it through to the final round. But
Good soup.
Best soup. I
Yeah.
want more of this soup. Please.
We could buy literally the best soup in the world right now.
There are also a couple of rhino pics and some funny fish pics in the voice chat for anyone who'd like to see them.
We could stay at the fancy inn and piss off everyone.
We could buy the fancy inn. We could
Or-
we could bulldoze it and just make a statue of Aki pissing himself if we wanted to.
For the record, Mev, you know, Mev and Havelock, you know what the fanciest inn is in this place? It is called Helm of the House.
And how much would a night there cost, like, normally?
It would cost 8 gold a night.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, then Mev's actually gonna lean into Aki. Why don't we go to the really nice place tonight?
Yeah, Aki again, mouth agape, just sort of goes, I suppose at this point it'd only be appropriate, wouldn't it?
You know, just a special treat.
Yes, as long as we don't make it, as long as we don't let this all go to our heads and we keep clear and we don't waste it, we should be fine to splurge on at least the night of our grand victory, if we can call it such.
I
Yeah.
will stay at our shitty inn, thank you very much.
You don't want to come? Achoo!
Bless you.
Achoo! Sorry.
Bless you, little field
Yeah.
mouse.
So how are you planning to celebrate? I'm sure we're the talk of the town now.
I got my ways of celebrating.
What are you going to find? Someone? Get a little spicy?
Ugh, I'd just stay with you if I wanted to get a little spicy.
Don't do that. I'm in a good mood, but don't do that.
That's just gonna get a smooch on the cheek and Havelock's walking away from the group, taking his share of the money.
Oh, look at me. I'm Havelock. I do a silly voice.
Dodge, you can stay in her tits for all I care tonight.
So, like, looks over at you, Mev. I mean, I know that he said I could, but
Do I gather this from his expression?
he openly says, like, so I know, like, he said I could, but I know that if I tried to, you'd probably kill me, so
Oh no, go ahead. If you want to spend the night, go ahead.
that was easy.
If you want to spend the night in my tits, go ahead.
Yeah. Listen, everybody wants to be there.
It's the Hans place in town.
All right, but I know what it's gonna be. I know that it's gonna turn heads, so I'll just do this while I wait. He sort of like lands on your shoulder and turns into a spider.
All right. So, what are we doing? What are we heading off to? What's next? We've got the whole festival today.
Yeah. You still got some time left in the day before the end of the first day. So,
What the fuck do we do?
Wow, Kinling. Yeah, we have quite a lot of options. I mean, we've been mostly doing stuff in like the the military district.
yeah, so this entire tournament's been taking place in the military district. In the
So we could probably like go out and go like party and celebrate.
yeah. Yeah, as I say, right now it's coming up to like the evening, so there is still like various like carnival games such going on if you want, or we can simply fast forward to the start of the next day
I suppose should we play some? Okay, yeah. So, how are we being treated now that suddenly we've won this massive tournament?
I mean, like, people are still the festival. The festival is technically 3 days, but technically only 2 of them are ones which the public celebrate. The third day is typically for the for delegates and ambassadors and business folk and such.
Okay.
But in regards to like how people are treating you, like there's a lot of people that are like looking at you in awe and such. You know, those that attended. But so are the others that also did. Just, you know, the extra bit is like they're saying like, oh yeah, look those the Talari, I think they're called. Yeah, they won the tournament. Well, didn't the others get? Yeah, but they're the ones that won. Nice.
Yeah. Actually, the I keep wanting to call her like the fucking Pterodot crossing lady. That's not it. The Tendered Earth lady.
The ambassador, Gianna.
Yes. She was like scoping people out. Is she still scoping us out?
She's sort of sitting there, just casually observing everyone.
Okay. Just, checking. I think, why don't we play some carnival games on the way back to the, like, really nice inn and order a fuck ton of food?
Yes, that works.
Yeah, I think that's good. A nice celebration.
I'm all for that. Yes.
Alrighty. So, if that's the case, I'll go over what the carnival games were again, just as a refresher, because it's been a bit. So you have, once I pull up here, you have archery. You have various archeries. You have rock throw, which is basically shot putting. You've got the wood chop, where you can, try and beat an opponent in chopping wood. And you've got the big swing, which was that large, like, stone cube that you had to try and get, like, halfway around with just a single large hit.
So what would it be? Yeah, I kind of go back to the festival grounds and kind of go, yeah. So what do you fancy, Miss Lanaka? I suppose we have a reputation to uphold. We might as well mingle with our newly adoring public.
Mev thinks about it. Do I want to try and get my revenge, or do I not want to risk embarrassing myself?
Revenge on what or whom?
There was this stupid carnival game that they couldn't beat. It was super, super irritating. Maureen did better than me. Maureen!
The
Yes?
70-foot man made out of iron and machines.
It's not fair.
Well then, how about we beat whatever the seven hells was the whatever the nine hells we just fought in the arena. I suppose whatever this is, probably no challenge for us, isn't it?
Mev pouts at this. Well, sure, Rocky, do you want to try it?
No, I think I threw out my shoulder casting one of those moonbeams.
Is he saying this just to avoid Mev's wrath?
Yes, he is. He's completely fine. I will. Oh my fucking god! I will let you know he has not taken a point of damage the entire day.
Wow.
Could it
And
No,
he's the one
you took 4
himself.
damage.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like-
The only damage I've taken today was a slap from
Yeah, and Aki was the one like practically crying.
He's a wuss.
My goodness.
He's not a fighty boy, is he?
Mev just crosses her arms. You know what? I think I am good. I am having this battle high, and I'm not going to have it ruined. let's go get some of those, like, spicy kebabs that we got before our kindling. I really like those.
Spicy kebabs.
Yeah, they were really good.
I could go over some spicy kebabs. Would you mind if I accompanied you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I figured we were all heading in the same direction. That Sean's Havelock? I don't really know what he's up to. It's kind of weird.
I never truly know what that man's up to. And part of
I
me
thought
hopes
he
that
would want to
becomes so,
celebrate with us, but he just kind of left.
Part of me wants to know, and another part of me desperately doesn't. Just for the sheer
Hmm?
shock of it.
The only thing that I could think of not wanting to go over there is the risk of arrest. But, I mean, I don't think that would be too concerning as long as we don't cause a fuss. At least not for one night.
I suppose. Yes.
Oh,
Besides,
well.
what was it? The Fancy Inn?
Yes, the super fancy one. What is it called again?
It is called, once I go over here, Helm of the House. It's in the Cirrus district.
Helm of the House?
Yes.
Okay. It's like, it's in the Cirrus district. It's called Helm of the House, and like, just staying there, like, one room for a night is like 8 gold.
A word. Bit extortionate.
Imagine how much the food costs. But it's okay, we can pull, like a couple platinum together for a couple of rooms and, some food.
Alright, I elect for a trip to the Fancy Tavern. As you so like what
Mev gets a big grin on her face. And do you know, since Havelock is a tier 1 of you can sleep with me, she gives like a wink.
And Aki just kind of goes, in what way is that worthy of celebration?
You know, we can hang out, have fun, play games.
Oh, right. You meant like sleep in the same room, not...
Not what?
Not whatever you're thinking at this current moment.
Got you.
He licks, he can't help but crack a smile. He goes, well, I suppose we did buy every single game in... Where was it, McGinn? No, Lanarch.
Yes, I have a ton of them.
I suppose I suppose we could enjoy ourselves at the Fancy Inn and eat into the mountain of food. You can drink gallons of wine or whatever beverage you desire, and then we can go
Yeah.
something of an after party.
We can make it a foursome.
Are there four of us here?
There's me, you, Kindling, and Marine. For some reason, I was about to say Kareen.
Correct.
You sort of feel like a slight scratching on your neck. Like, it's like tickling your neck. You sort of like look down to see a spider there.
Oh, fivesome. We have DAWs here.
Right, all depending on how size these rooms are. Ideally, hopefully palatial.
Oh my gosh, we make an orgy. Fantastic.
Oh, what? Sorry.
An orgy. Have you not heard of these before?
No, don't ruin it. I'm kidding. I'm purely kidding. I just thought this was really funny. I can't help myself.
Well, if that's how you want to spend your time, so be it. It's not something...
Don't mind me, I'm just wondering how much of this is the medicine talking. The loopy medicine talking.
Probably a lot.
Probably.
Tom, what medicine? This is Peach.
Keep in mind that I haven't seen what she was like as ecstasy outside of that one shot, so you can
Oh,
excuse me for
bad.
this.
Hun, this is all Peach.
Good to know. I'll have to get a black sheet just to be like, and fade to black, 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 and fade to black.
You didn't have those when you had two pirates played by me and Peach join the campaign?
Oh.
Thomas. Tisk tisk.
Mev just looks to Aki and Kindling, just like, oh my god. I can't believe you don't know. Here. Mev, take up the succubus book that she was reading.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
One of you take this and read it, and
No,
all will be explained.
No, you misunderstand. I am perfectly aware of what you mean. I just don't want any part of it.
I am kidding, Aki. Pure jokes. Besides, I mean, Marine is a robot. I don't think he has the parts for that.
You can have the components.
I do not have the parts fitted for that, so to speak.
Fitted? Never mind, I don't want to know. I don't want anything metal in there.
Penny drops for kindling.
Kindling?
Okay.
Yeah, it's something like this. But yeah, she's talking as she's walking to the fucking food stand.
Okay, so if you want to get the kebabs, I think I said they were 3 copper each.
Yeah. Just like... So there's 4 of us.
Be careful we don't get, like, mugged or, like, made to, like, or, like, tricked into investing into, like, an MLM or something.
Alright, and give them, that'd be like a silver and 2 copper
Silver and 2 copper,
for all
yes.
of us. Yeah. Alright. Silver and 2 copper.
That's so rich.
And so...
Yeah.
And then I guess I assume you guys are heading to the helm of the house?
Yep.
Alrighty. Half-Luck, are you doing anything in particular? Oh wait, she just left. Whoops. I can't read.
Had to use the restroom.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So,
I'm so sorry, Tom.
it's fine. Like, I should have expected it, but that's on me. It's fine, I just need to be prepared for a lot of fade to black said. It's fine. Anyway. So you head into the Cirrus district. There's lots of signage around, so you're able to find where it is. And you find yourself very quickly in front of the helm of the house. It's a large 4-story building, which is made of a mixture of finely crafted marble and polished elm timbers. The marble you can see sort of like has almost like engravings into it, trying to make it almost like simulating what a picturesque wooden house is, but with marble engravings. The large sign near the front definitely looks to have been magically enchanted in a way, as the layers of the inn seem to almost glow and dance around, sort of visually enticing you. As you climb up the steps and through the large elm doors, you can see that the inside is made of surprisingly much more respectable material. Very smooth stone, well-polished wooden timbers for support. You can see various paintings and tapestries on the wall, though barring the decor, it's surprisingly more barren than other fancy inns that you may have seen. But you can also see as well, like, there's this large room and much smaller rooms with various people drinking. Not a whole lot, given the clientele, but there is a decent amount of people in here. You can sort of see on the far side is a black marble counter with it's odd. He doesn't look like an innkeeper. He's a regal-looking human wearing like bright blue robes with a large white scarf across his shoulder, a wispy goatee, and blue eyes. And he's just kind of casually talking to a equally fancy-looking female human. But he appears to be the bartender, from what you can tell.
Was it a fancy-looking human, did you say?
Yes. A regal-looking human.
Very regal. Good word. Is it big? And the bar's basically one big block of like black stone, right?
It's actually smooth grey stone on the floor and polished wooden timbers. For the support, it's just the counter itself is made of a black marble.
Okay. And I'll go, I guess...
Yeah, go fancy, man. This is your territory.
Yeah, I will walk up to the bar. God, I'm really being brave, aren't I? And I'll just say, hello, yes.
Yes, hello, welcome, friends, to the helm of the house.
Thank you. It's fantastic to be here. It's a wonderful, gorgeous place we have.
Well, why, thank you. It's many years of work.
Do you have a food menu or something we could have a look at?
We don't have a particular menu per se, but if you say what you've got a particular hankering for, we probably have it in our storeroom.
I'll think about it and see what my heart desires. Also, do you have rooms available at all?
Oh, we have plenty of rooms. Yes. Few of the special ones have been taken up by representatives, due to the festival, but we've still got a handful of them, and of course our regular rooms are available for you.
What's the difference between your regular rooms and these so-called special rooms?
Well, the regular rooms are one which, the more higher members of society would typically find in their own rooms. The special rooms are usually a bit more of a combination. Comes with a bath with running water. Not to say that the regular rooms don't, far from it, but I mean it is has a bit more of privacy and ensuite, so you could say. You will have access to servants and room service at any point you wish in those particular rooms, compared to our regular ones, which you unfortunately must wait until either the morning or the evening. You could basically consider it an upgrade to our regular rooms.
Is everyone else by the counter, or is it just me?
I would assume that we went up with you.
Okay. In which case, yeah, see, kind of, yeah. I kind of just go, well, I suppose I can't speak for all of us, but I quite fancy some of the special rooms.
We could probably get, 2. Would that be possible?
Well, the rooms are, more suited for 2 people maximum, so, given your group... Oh, no, yes, 4 would be sufficient, if you don't mind. 2 of you sharing a single bed?
That's fine with me.
How many rooms do you have? How many of the special rooms are available?
There are 4 special rooms available. Normally there's 6, but some delegates have made use of these rooms, so they are not available, I'm afraid. And as for our regular rooms, we have 12 of them.
Well, folks, I suppose if we desire it, we could all have our own rooms, bar 2 of us.
I mean, I'm fine with sharing. I don't have any problem with that. I share with Evlock all the time.
It would be no problem to share rooms, at least not in my mind.
Why are we being frugal here? We have we have more money than the High King of the Dwarves.
Mev looks at Aki and just like huffs. If you want your own room, that's fine. I just like hanging out with people.
All right. I think I'd enjoy my own room if that's okay.
Okay, go ahead and have your own room. Does anyone else want their own room? Do they want to share?
I believe you and Kindling can share. It is no problem with me.
Oh, okay. Then Kindling, is that okay? Alright, so that's 3 rooms?
Very well. Regular rooms or our exclusive special rooms?
The super special fancy one.
Exclusive special one, please.
Very well. For those, it is 14 gold a night.
Oh my god, that's so expensive.
14,
Just-
just in case you misheard. 1-4. Not 40.
1-4.
To be fair, I heard 40 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. 14.
I was like, holy shit.
1-4.
Alright,
Yeah, he
so
goes-
that's...
Yeah, he kind of,
What?
yeah. To be fair, Aki kind of goes. Wait, did you just say 40 gold a night?
14. Sir, 14.
Oh, thank goodness. Mev's just gonna take out 2 plat for their room.
That leaves
how
you
much- how
short
much is one
16
platinum?
gold, miss.
Oh, I know. Hold on. Mev just takes out the 16 gold.
Thank you.
How much is? I'm sorry, I'm really stupid.
One
How much
platinum is
one
10
platinum?
gold.
Okay. So I guess. So wait, have we all been given 120 platinum?
Yes.
Oh, awesome. I wasn't sure. I didn't know if the money had been divvied out yet. Okay.
I would assume it would have.
I'll add 120 platinum to my character sheet. Hold on.
You
Oh,
just
damn.
plucks the gold out, just place it in a pocket, and then sort of like heads over to what looks like a cupboard, and as you sort of like slides it, you can see like a few rather beautifully ornate keys, and he's just there like, that one, there we go, and hands the key to you.
Do. Man, I'm pretty sure I just got swindled by that guy. Because he said it was an extra 16. It was very much not an extra 16.
You don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. Mev would not think about it, so.
I feel like this is basically like when how people like swindle lottery ticket winners.
Who knows? But I assume the rest of you pay your what you need. Okay.
Yeah. I'll put down. Was it 14? Did you say?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
pay in
Aki-
mine.
Aki puts down 1 platinum and 4 gold.
Rain just puts down the 14 gold.
At this point, it's like, I'm sorry. I thought your friend was paying for you all.
She was.
That's what I assumed.
Never know. Are you paying for all of us?
Well, I guess I did.
If that's the case, then here, Marine will just give her the 14 he had.
Wait, no, now you've got me
That's your
confused.
payment.
Now you've got me confused. Let me just... Okay, there was 2 platinum there, there's 20 gold, and then there's a 14, that brings that to 34. I am short 8 gold.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Alright.
So,
That's I'm just gonna make gold.
there we go. Here you go. Here you go. And here is yours, miss. Apologies for the mistake. For the misassumption.
Oh, no problem. I get confused with these things sometimes too.
It's just to see someone pay with platinum usually is a sign of splurging, so to say.
It's a little bit of a splurge right now, so.
If you want to give it a name, yes.
But thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course, of course. I hope you enjoy your stay.
Thank you. Alright. Take the keys.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and divvy them amongst ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they're gold keys and they're very fancy.
Actually,
Really nice, pretty ornate keys.
they're fancy, but they're iron.
Okay.
Nice.
They're
Definitely they would, like,
gold.
match
Gold
the
is
key
a very soft metal, so not very suitable for being a key.
That's how opulent they are. They're just constantly reforging gold keys.
Mev smiles at all of them. So, do we want to eat first? Do we want to get cleaned up first before we hang out and have fun?
I think it's only proper if we prepare ourselves for dinner, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm covered in blood, and Kindling and Marine are drenched in saliva. Meanwhile, there's you, looking fit as a fiddle.
Yeah, so I might need to check my underbreeches just to be safe, but yes.
Should you need any of your clothes cleaned or mended, that is part of the service that you have bought.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, simply all you need to do is, there is a basket that is in your room. If you merely put in your damaged and dirty clothes in there, place it outside your room, and there'll be a sort of an hourglass-shaped thing. If you flip it over so that it emits a light, then the servants will know that they are required, and when it's done, it is simply returned with the hourglass light turned off.
Okay, cool. Kindling, you can bathe first if you want, but I'm going to claim the repair first. Alright, let's go. Mev is gonna take his hand and just run upstairs.
Alright.
Yeah, Aki's gonna grab one of the keys and head up to her room as well.
Okay.
Marine's taking the final key and going up.
Alright. So.
First time Marine has a room.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the rooms are identical as the special rooms, but basically they're a very large room, and I'm gonna say how big it is, and then you are gonna say that's not very big because difference between British houses and American houses. But it's roughly about 15 by 15. It is a very large room with a large window covering one side of the wall, barring a small section that appears to sort of protrude out. Looking inside this room, you can see it's a large ornate bath, about 8 by 8 feet. Not 8 by 8 feet, sorry, 6 by 6 feet. Scales and all that stuff. You can see it's got various taps and a shower head and such. It is a fancy as fuck ensuite. There's a large wardrobe in the corner, empty, of course. Should you wish to put your stuff in. My brain has just died on the name of it, but it's the small little table with a big mirror, which you sit down and look. Make yourself look
the
good.
vanity.
Divinity. That's the vanity. Vanity. Desk.
Good
table?
job.
Intertwined.
Yeah, vanity table.
Yeah, the vanity table, and such. There's large silk. I there. A king-size bed with large silk sheets, and like fluffed up pillows. You sort of like check they actually have the closest medieval equivalent to a mattress. And it is, and you can see like some other bits of artwork, and mostly scenic areas of like forests or cityscapes and such, or just like one of them like you see is a portrait of like a deer just like in the woods looking outwards to the side of the portrait.
Wow, freaky. Do you think they have like a thing that sees us with those eyes? They're watching.
Alright.
Oh, man, Tiddly's gone. He can't hear me make my funny comments.
Yep.
It's fine. Anna is back, though, if you'd like to switch to her.
Yes. Anna, what are you doing? Or Havelock, what are you doing?
Havelock is wandering about the town. He is looking for a place he can go and train at.
Okay. I mean, the most apparent one is obviously the military district.
Yep. Making my way close to there. Gonna see if I can hop into... Well... No, never mind. Making my way there.
Okay. So you return back to the military district, which is where you were before.
Mm-hmm.
Is there... are you just looking for a place to train?
Yeah, that's basically what I plan on spending my my night doing.
Okay. So obviously you got the two options of the Zamahan HQ or the garrison. Though the garrison is very walled in, so you get the feeling it's probably a no on that one.
Nope.
Okay.
Going to where it's safe to be.
Okay. So you sort of like return back to where you were. You can see that there's several of the guards that are going through their like their regular training and such. The Leonin from before is also there, just casually conversing with a few of the soldiers. So like notices you sort of like approaching and just sort of like waves the soldiers away. It's like, welcome back. Did you forget something or?
No. I was just wondering if I could use this area for the night. You know, a little more fighting, a little more training.
The training field, you mean?
Yeah.
So let me just see who's on guard today. So like walks over to a small sort of like almost like a bulletin board, and so like you see him just like skim his eyes over it before he walks back. It's like, yeah, High General's not gonna be around, so I'm sure he won't mind. Just don't cause a ruckus. That's all I'm gonna say.
I can only promise not to blow something up.
Fair, but if you break if you use any of the soldiers and you break their legs, it's gonna be a problem, alright? So just try to avoid causing any long-term damage.
You got it, my man, my friend.
Good job on the tournament, by the way.
Thanks. Felt like it could have gone a bit better, but wasn't too bad.
I mean, it was interesting to see, and the ambassador asked a lot of questions, not just about you, but the others too.
Oh yeah? What kind of questions did they have?
Just basically on if we knew where they were from, what they do, their past victories in battle. Most of them are just simply say you gotta ask them yourself, which you did. And questions to me about, like, is this the kind of stuff that we can see here in Karmora and such? Which answers yes, mostly. Most of this stuff is from all around the continent.
You know what? I did have a question about one of the things we saw in there. That goblin-looking thing with the one eye. What was that?
That was called a... don't know how to pronounce it properly. Lyco, I think. Likh0. Ho even.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was weird. I'd never seen one.
Yeah, they're not like too much seen in the public eye. They're I think it's a case of they're a bit of like the underdog kind of deal.
Okay. Are you up for any training?
I mean, I'm a drill sergeant, so training's kind of what I do. So,
Yeah, but are you up for any training now?
well, you want me to train you or what?
Sure. I'll see what you got.
All right. So, like, cracks his knuckles and such. And I hope you don't mind if I go into how it normally is when I'm whipping cubs into shape.
Buddy, I'd love to see that.
Alright then, let's give this a go. And, he basically goes into his full drill sergeant-esque style. You've seen videos of what drill sergeants are like, so you know how that goes.
Havelock's only thought, yes, just like my father.
Okay. Does anyone else do anything for the, evening?
Besides vibe?
Besides vibe, yes. Because I want to sort of, like, get this out, because I know obviously we said it was going to be a short session, but I really want to get this slow bomb out. It's been a long time. So,
Sorry, I'm suffering.
it's fine.
I
And
think
that's
we should let...
Phew.
Aw, bless you, little field mouse. Should we let Tom get his
I mean-
little lore dump out?
If Kindling has stuff, let him,
Yeah, no, like I'm not gonna say like no, we're gonna go over. I'm just saying like, also as well,
Yeah,
we've been on the same day for like 3 sessions.
that could be like the last thing if you want Kindling.
Yeah, because I mean, next part is just gonna mostly be me talking
Yeah, because I think I'm
at your limit.
I'm just about hitting my limit. I can listen to Tom, but
Oh yeah, don't worry. After I do this law bomb, that's when I'm gonna be there. Like, okay, next session's next week.
yeah.
I just want to give you guys lore because yeah. Oh, there we go. It's not even stuff involving mevs yet. Even better.
Yes. Go ahead. I will sit here and watch you all.
Ed, you here?
Aki, pay attention to Kindling.
Sorry, I was muted. Fucking Christ.
Notice Kindly and Aki senpai.
Yeah, Aki, yeah, Aki just kind of goes like, "Oh heavens!" and will sort of jump out. Like, I guess Aki's in his room, sort of chilling on his bed, reading one of his books after having a nice shower and after having a nice bath. And so do you go up and knock on his door? All right. He just goes, "Oh, good heavens! Who is it?" Ah, delightful. Give me 2 seconds, Alvin, and he'll, as he just quickly puts on a shirt, and he just sort of, and he just opens the door looking very sort of, like freshly washed, basically. So like, hello, Kindling, how can I help? But of course, yes. To be frank, I fancied another go at the festivities myself, and I must say, even though I'm not quite one to hold too fierce grudges, I would like to have another go and see if I can best it one last time. I'd be delighted to go with you tomorrow. Is that it?
Doesn't elaborate further. Leaves.
Just. You sure we don't want to, what was it? Hang out?
You want to meet me, friend?
Wait, friend, don't go.
Alright. See you tomorrow, Kindling. I guess he'll close the door.
Okay. So. Go from a distance, you hear him say, already hanging out tomorrow. Alright.
Wow.
So.
We're already doing stuff tomorrow. I don't want to hang out with you more.
So. Again, for the sake of brevity.
I'm genuinely quite sad.
Oh. Don't be sad. Alright. So, you all get a full night's rest. Except maybe Havelock, question mark? Do you actually go to bed, Havelock? Anna?
Oh no.
Apparently, she has vanished into the ether.
Okay, I will assume until she says otherwise that she does eventually have Havelock go to sleep.
Fuck you, Havelock's taking exhaustion.
Okay.
Oh my god, why don't you stop?
What are you, my mom?
Yes.
No. And also, sorry, I had to go grab a package for my mom from the porch.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, well, the Leonin leaves you be after you decide that you're staying the entire night.
Entire fucking night.
Okay, so you get a point of exhaustion.
Wow.
And eventually, the second day begins of the festival. So, unless you guys do anything in particular, I'm just going to fast forward to the gathering in the main square again.
Go on.
Go on.
Yeah.
Okay. For the record, those that are eating at the helm of the house, that's 6 gold for your meals.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So, the crowd gathers once more in the main square. All of them, once again, looking up towards a stone platform, in which you can see the human and the Goliath are once again standing nearby, with the Goliath amplifying the human's voice. No sign of the premiere this time, nor any of the delegates that were attending. However, the dark-skinned human steps up and begins to speak. Hello, one and all! Hope you've all enjoyed the first day, or if you've only arrived here today, sorry, but you missed a real fun time. We had a winner of the tournament, just so you know. Not gonna say, though, because if I had to hazard a guess, probably here and probably don't want to get sworn. Don't worry, I look out for you guys. Anyway, we come to the second day of the festival. So for many of you, it's the final day, I'm afraid, unless you're, an delegate or a trader of some sorts. But it's here where we look as to how we grew as a nation. For we've felt the hardship throughout the years. Before the ink had even dried, there were others that sought to destroy us, forming their own alliance to defeat ours, the hypocrites. Were it not for the ingenious engineer Cirrus Mouse creating his walls, we may have never existed, in fact. And we grew. Yes, we grew. Admittedly, very closed off, and typically being very hostile to anyone that was not part of the Republic, I'll admit that. Still paying for that with the Isle of Tended Earth. But then we decided to do the most daring thing. Trade with others. There was conflict there, of course. What with, Arazar does not let us put that down, with us establishing the Confederacy, which is now evolved into pirates. I will admit that. At this point, the Goliath, elbows the human.
Wow, this is going so well.
Look, hey. I was told to be honest about everything. Don't like it, then you can, turn me off. And at this point, his voice dies. As Aki, you can Liberty's like, it's just a, okay, right, okay, fine, I'll stick to the script. Just, come on, this is gonna look really fucking stupid for both of us. Thank you. His voice is now loud again. Of course, our mistake there was solved, what with the Third Fleet shattering the Pirate King, and of course, making amends with our former enemies. And so, for the newcomers, today is all about theatrics and seeing how we grew of a nation. If you just wait about an hour or two, in the square there will be a recreation of one of our greatest moments as a republic. The Day of Land. If you are more of a kin of how our most recent victory against the Pirate King was, then in the evening we will conclude with the Day of Sea recreation over by the docks. Although it is with our apologies that the Third Fleet will not be performing this, instead the First Fleet has taken up this great honor. In the meantime, there are a few more games available for you to join in. There may be a few traders around for any of the more business-interested people. But enjoy the day. At this point, the Goliath steps up and plays his own voice. I would ask that you all ensure the square is cleared while we prepare for the recreation of the Day of Land. Various festivities are by the Zaman HQ and the docks. However, those in the square will be returned after the recreation. So, I'm going to say again, because I want to get the lore bomb, and there's plenty of stuff you can do afterwards with that you guys just wait for the Day of Land recreation.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So about an hour passes. You see that the square is cleared, and you see at this point the square is dominated by what looks like a wooden backdrop with the mouse walls of Lanarch painted on it. Though you can see that there's various bits like sticking out in a few holes within, with black sheets covering them. Though it is partially covered by black cloth that's draped on a rope that's sort of between wall to wall almost. There's several people that are sort of like holding on to the sheets as if they're ready to pull it down. And a large wooden pallet is showing like a stage area with an assortment of benches for people to watch being present.
As this is all happening, Mev just kind of leans into kindling. You know, my mama says that these performances are just a bunch of propaganda. It means like the Republic kind of tries to twist the story to make them look good. You know? It's what the people do, so I bet that whatever we see, I don't know the full story, obviously, but I bet I could point out a few inconsistencies. At least with what I've been told.
Alright, so
Alright, go ahead.
let's see if I can end this session on a high note. Or keep the high note, I should say.
Woo!
So eventually, everyone quiets down, and you hear a voice speak up again. It sounds very much like the Goliath from before. You can't see him, but you assume he's, backstage narrating. To which you hear him begin to speak. Before there was a republic, there were simply tribes. Various individuals begin walking onto the stage, several clutching swords and spears. They're dressed in a mixture of tunics and tongas and togas. Not tongas, togas. Tonga is a brand.
That's different.
Yeah, Tonga's a brand. Tribes who fought against one another, with the only allegiances being to bring harm to another. That is, until Isaleaf landed to bring ruin to the land. You see a large figure dressed in a surprisingly well-crafted, single-piece dragon costume. Yeah, I would say with Aki's perception, you can see, like, just based on, like, the bits that aren't the suit, you can see it's definitely a Minotaur that's wearing it. Proceeds to sort of, like, go in and sort of, like, fake strike a few of the people who fall, whereas you see, like, others ready the weapon and begins to, like, approach the dragon and such. But then we bound together as one tribe, and though through much sacrifice we drove the beast off. You watch as the tribesmen like begin to like pretend to attack the Minotaur. A few of them fall as the Minotaur lashes out, but eventually like retreats behind the backdrop. You see a few of the tribesmen so like sit down looking exhausted, while those that were still standing, like still with their weapons out, approach them. It was that day that the seeds of cooperation were planted, which would eventually bloom into our future. You watch the standing tribesmen sort of like extend a hand out to those that are sitting, who it takes it and helps them up. At this point, the tribesmen walk off the stage. Yet, to some, our past was too deeply ingrained within us. The ropes drop, showing a smaller backdrop of what looks like a wooden wall, almost like the inside of a building. It's carried forward a little bit to make it more prominent on the stage, whereas a table is put in the middle. Some of the same tribesmen from before come back onto the stage and surround the large table. You notice that all of them have either a toga or a tunic, but they're all different colors. You see one with a red toga, one with a yellow toga, one with a blue tunic, one with a green tunic, and one with a... Wait, I mentioned that one. And one with a purple toga. At this point, they sort of like get in position when the red toga individual, who's a dark-skinned human male, so like slams his hand on the table. The gods would not allow this. It is not within us to lead all, just those that are loyal. The yellow toga individual, who is a female half-elf, steps forward. But what's to say the gods did not send that vile beast against us? To show us that through cooperation we can be stronger, that we can control this land by working together. The blue tunic individual speaks up, this one being a Minotaur.
Our seers believe that a possibility, aye. But equally some believe it shows that we are weak, unfitting to rule. Some go further to say we do not deserve to exist.
The dark-skinned male speaks up. The seers have two conclusions, which mention nothing of cooperation, compared to your one. And yet you still say this is a correct choice?
No, I believe you're misguided. The sisters and the gods would smite us down if we were to show weakness.
The green toga individual, male halfling, speaks up. Yeah, the same sisters who saved our ancestors, you mean? Who worked together as to turn the tide?
They were family. You're asking strangers to come together. People's allegiance is to their tribe, and you tell them to remove their loyalty and instead pledge it to another leader, one who has yet to prove themselves.
One which we shall decide together. One which will be expected to guide us into the new age.
Your words speak true, I feel it. But I cannot agree with it, not after the battle.
I understand, friend, I understand. You lost much of your tribe, but think of it this way. Your tribe is diminished, but not lost. I mean, were it not for us.
Oh, so you wish to take credit now, do you? You who cowered behind trees and rocks, while me and him, we, our tribe, took the brunt.
That's not what I meant. What I meant was... At this point, the individual dark-skinned human female speaks up in a purple toga. That is enough!
Agreed. For the first time since I've arrived.
It is clear now that not everyone will agree, and this is expected. We shall just need to continue as we are.
I will not allow it.
But why? At least please tell us why. We may be able to... I hope I'm doing that variant with a voice enough so you can tell like which character's which. We may at least be able to reach a compromise.
I told you, the gods would never expect us to pledge loyalty to those not of blood or of sufficient trust.
Is that truly why? The gods?
You doubt their words?
No. No, but I believe in our seers who can say that this was a sign of cooperation. It's not the wrath of the gods he fears. It's us.
Why would I have a need to fear you?
Because you're scared that as a combined tribe, we will become stronger than you are or ever will be. That eventually you'll be forced to choose between your own destruction or joining us.
There's a long pause before the dark-skinned male says again. Do you intend to stay your course?
Aye, now and forever.
You have tried to take credit for our victory. You insult our gods, and now you threaten my tribe with its demise. 1 I can forgive, 2 I can tolerate. But 3 is too many. So consider this a warning. I shall ensure that nothing of your tribes remain, and those who stand against you shall stand with me.
Oh, so you're making an alliance to defeat an alliance. Hey, you heard of the word hypocritical? That's kind of what you're doing.
The dark-skinned male begins to walk away, saying, We allied to defeat a threat to this land in its entirety before. I am merely doing it again. The Minotaur looks down. I'm sorry, but I too believe in our seers. I feel that we are not meant to rule together, and so by the gods' will, I too must stop you.
And he walks away. Before he fully leaves, the pale-skinned half-elf speaks up. Should you change your mind, friends, we would still welcome you as one.
Minotaur just looks back sort of mournfully before continuing. The others stand there for a minute before they eventually leave. The final backdrop is left. The wooden platforms are moved away, whereas others are put in front of the entrances. You see several people in military guard, all of them color-coded, either purple or yellow or blue, standing on the replica mouse walls. Whereas as you see others beginning to show up dressed in blue and red. The leaders from before come in, now dressed in a more military garb, but you can see their previous attire sort of underneath. At this point, they sort of pause as everyone gets in position before they speak up.
Our messengers have returned? Yes, we've lost the Cillian Pass, and the town of Cillian itself is completely razed. And our battalions? Odds are most likely decimated. If I had to hazard a guess, we are going to be outnumbered 5-1.
And, what of the northern front?
I've got word the other day. They're badly beaten, but they've claimed victory. The northern tribe leader has surrendered for our judgment. Yes, but they're too far and too fatigued to take on another onslaught. Yes, they are. So, this is it then. Our last fortress is gone and our troops outnumbered. Well, that's where you're wrong, Premier. We have a final fortress. Here, right here in Lanarch. You mean your walls? They're not finished. You said so yourself. Okay, not quite. You see, it's in my tribe. An engineering project's not done until it's physically impossible to do so. These walls, by your standards, they're done. By my standards, they could be improved, but I guess for this, they'll probably work. Yes, but will they hold Mouse? Will they grant us victory? Well, we're still outnumbered 5-1. The walls will help weather it, but it's gonna be what soldiers we got left that are gonna decide the battle. Then spread the word. Anyone that is able to take up a weapon may do so. I fear that by the time this is over, there will be very few of us. They walk off, and you see as eventually the full, essentially military groups appear. After a few seconds, you hear a horn play, and you watch as the red and blue soldiers surge forward. You watch as several sort of get hit by fake arrows. They've got some padding on the front of it to take the hits. As they fall, you watch as the troops begin to climb up, while the ones on the on the top of them, so like push them down or begin to stab up at them. At a few occasions, the Red Guard troops to like climb up and throw off the individuals before they try to go in. Before you see the Minotaur that was wearing the Green Dragon costume, you would assume based on a similar build, you see like occasionally like, comes in and so like shoves them off before closing the wall with a piece of a wood, sort of like representing it being sealed. You see several of the guards like try to like brute force through the wall, but it doesn't work. After a few minutes, you hear the sound of horses galloping. And coming from a side bit, you see several horses run through with occasion, deliberately missing, but as this continues, you hear the narrator continue. For days and nights did the tribes crash. The Premier charged again and again, until eventually a fabled, almost god-guided strike hit and slew the enemy leader. You see the dark-skinned human from before sort of like get pretty close to the female, the dark-skinned female's horse before as he falls down. The narrator continues. Though she was now unable to fight due to her wounds, it was here that the words in that meeting struck true. At this point, the green tunic-wearing halfling walks out, so like standing atop of the wall, which says, "Soldiers, comrades, prepare to... behold the hubris of our foes. Look, over there, dying in his own blood, the enemy leader." At this point, you see like the troops stop and turn to look at the fallen leader. You see a few like begin to run off to the side, whereas some others drop their weapons and sort of surrender. To which point, the soldiers begin cheering. Shortly afterwards, the soldiers clear, and it's left with just the Republican leaders, alongside the Minotaur from before, wearing the blue tunic, this time with him shackled. As they sort of wait a bit for them all to get in position before they begin to speak. Premier, I must insist you rest. There'll be much time for that, my friend. With themselves leaderless, I predict many a person will declare themselves leader, and they can stay to their own infighting. Yeah, well, let's pray that it either takes them an eon or, they make themselves weaker in general. I think you'll find a sizable number have been wavered by our show of strength and have already pledged loyalty to us. Yeah? And what's to stop them stabbing us in the back? Well, for one, their ideals are one of the most important things to them. So, they must have been heavily swayed if they would go against those ideals. And for two, I hope that with time, their loyalty becomes endless, even should their former tribe attain a new leader. Yes, well, speaking of leaders, what shall this one's fate be?
I do not expect forgiveness for the side that I picked. I have made my peace with the gods, and I shall have them decide my fate.
And I do not expect you to have the easy way out with this. You wish to pass through the veil? You shall have to earn it. Premier, you can't seriously be going through this. By my decree, I declare that your tribe is forbidden in acts of violence, nor are they permitted to use or hold weapons. But I'm not so cruel as to deny you everything, which is why I make this offer. You told me that you put a lot in the weight of the gods, and your tribe puts high value in their words. Therefore, I shall simply have you repay this debt, by having you and your tribe help bring the people together, through your vast expertise of the gods. Minotaur sort of ponders before standing up straight.
Mayhaps we follow the gods' messages blindly. And should this let us learn to see more clearly, then my tribe will follow your republic, till the old one's magic has faded, and nothing of living remains.
The dark-skinned female walks up and undoes the shackles. Then shed yourself of these shackles, my friend, for what you once stood for, and stand among us, High Priest. They all leave, and as this happens, the narrator speaks up.
And thus did a new chapter in Karmora's history open. Gone were the days of tribalism. On that day, a new unity surfaced. the old tribes removed their names from history, shedding the stains of their past, to rise again as the Zamahan Republic. There's a spattering of applause, which picks up as the various actors come out and give a bow. The guy from before comes up and just says, "We thank you all for your patience. If you give us some time, we shall return this square back to what it is to enjoy the festivities. But for now, thank you once again." And because, as I say, I know some people are approaching their limit and such, and I said I just wanted to get this done, that's what we're going to call it for this session. I
Yay!
gave you guys a big old lore bomb. I hope you enjoyed
Yeah, how
it.
the hell do I
Yay.
condense that into my notes?
Huh?
Oh, how the fuck do I condense that into my notes? You son of a bitch, Thomas.
You don't. You get the transcript, and then you put it on like a little pamphlet, and then you put that in the notes. Like, here you guys go. I made pamphlets for you all. Do.
Yeah, I just noticed in my actual notes I mislabeled, because I labeled the characters as just like what they were wearing, like their color coding. On the file bit, I've accidentally put the purple toga character as the red toga one. It's like, no, wait, no, he died.
Alright, babe.
Okay, I think I got them all. There was meant to be like a thing where they did performance checks, but I was just there like, actually, nah, they would have not tried to fuck this up.
Yeah, that'd be rehearsals.
Oh, yeah, that'd be well rehearsed. But yeah, that is a recreation of the Day of Land.
Woo!
So I hope you enjoyed that lore
Yay.
bomb.
It was
I
great.
did.